Hello. Hello, everyone. In this video, we'll explore how Apple CarPlay works and what it can do in our car. Before we begin, it's important to note that Apple CarPlay isn't compatible with all cars on the market, so you'll need to check if your car is compatible with this system. Once we confirm our car is compatible, we can connect our iPhone in two ways, depending on the vehicle. First, we can connect via cable, using the same cable we use to charge the iPhone, but plugging it into the car's USB port. In this case, once connected, the car will automatically recognize it as CarPlay. Second, which is how I have it set up now, we can connect via Bluetooth for wireless CarPlay use. In this case, the connection is typically made using the hands-free button integrated into your vehicle's steering wheel. Generally, holding this button activates the CarPlay connection, allowing you to connect your iPhone. However, this varies across different vehicle types, so it's best to check how it's done in your specific car. Once you've connected your iPhone to the car, the CarPlay system will appear, which is what we see here. As you can see, we have a main screen similar to your phone, with various screens and apps. On the main screen, the time is shown at the top, and at the bottom, where these four dots are, it displays your signal strength. I don't see anything here because I'm in the garage with no signal. And down here, we have the most recently used apps. This bottom button lets us switch between the main menu with all installed apps and the menu with maps and various shortcuts. As for the main menu, not all iPhone apps will appear in CarPlay, but it's true that the necessary ones or those compatible with driving will show up. In the main menu, as you can see, I have the phone app for making calls. I can access contacts, use the keypad to dial a specific number, or check recent calls and favorites. Next, we have the Maps application. This is Apple's original navigation app, and as you can see, everything will appear exactly as we have it on the iPhone. Just the same with favorites, our home, everything will show up exactly as we have it on the phone. Let's move on to the third app I have, which is WhatsApp. I'll make a separate video to show what you can and can't do with WhatsApp in CarPlay. Once it's ready, I'll link it above so you can watch it in detail, as it has quite different functions from regular WhatsApp, and I'd like to explain them in a video. So for now, as you can see, we have WhatsApp. The next app I have is Amazon Music. I use Amazon Music as my daily music service, but if you use Spotify, that's fine too. You can install Spotify on your iPhone and it'll show up here without any issues. It's just like using Apple Music, exactly the same. Next up, we have the FM radio. Why do I have this installed? Because I've added an aftermarket external screen, not standard with the car. I'll link the review of my car's screen above so you can see how it works. It overrides the car's main audio, so the original radio is replaced by the screen. I've installed a standard radio app with all channels, so I can listen to any station. If you use a different radio app, no worries, it'll show up too. Lastly, we have settings, but we'll cover those in more detail at the end. Next, we have the calendar. If we open it, any events registered on the iPhone would appear. I've placed Google Maps here. I usually use Apple Maps, but I also have Google Maps installed as a backup. It's good to have two navigation systems just in case. As mentioned earlier with radio or Amazon Music, if you use any other navigation app besides Google Maps or Apple Maps, it'll show up in CarPlay without any issues. Lastly, on the main screen, I have Skype. I rarely get calls, but it's there just in case. There's also an icon that, when pressed, takes us to the car's main system interface, which is this screen we see here. If we swipe right from this main screen, we'll find other apps that we don't really need. Okay, in this case, I have the messages and it now rings. To finish, if we go to the screen on the left, we'll go to the one we had here. We're going to the map screen with music and locations. Now that we've seen CarPlay's main functions, let's go to settings to see what configurations we can adjust. We'll start with driving mode. If we enter here, it says we can silence alerts and notifications. Incoming calls won't be silenced. This means WhatsApp, Skype, or any text message won't alert us. It'll keep us completely free from notifications. However, if someone calls, it will alert us. This is just in case we want to turn off notifications if we're going to. As for appearance, as you can see, I always keep it dark. We can also set the maps to always be dark, but in this case, I have it set to always dark, not automatic. As you see, it turns white otherwise. I always prefer it darker. And for maps, I have them set to show daytime during the day and nighttime at night. Let's move on to the wallpaper section, where we have some preset wallpapers that we can choose for the main menu. As you can see, if we go back to the main menu, this is the wallpaper I have set. But if we go to wallpapers, as you can see, we can switch between different wallpapers that might suit us better, perhaps matching the car's aesthetics or simply ones we like more. One thing you can't do, which I really wish you could, is set your own background. Customized means we can't set a custom wallpaper. There's no way to use an iPhone wallpaper with CarPlay. Even if we download a wallpaper, Apple hasn't allowed us to set custom wallpapers yet. It'd be great to use any phone wallpaper as the CarPlay background, but for now, it's not possible. Moving on to Siri and suggestions, the first option lets us turn on or off panel suggestions. Below is an interesting option to send automatically. I have this disabled because when I need Siri to transcribe a WhatsApp message, I speak and it writes it out for sending first. I want it to read me the message and I'll confirm before sending in case I tap here, for example, and messages are sent automatically. Automatically, Siri will send messages without confirmation. I dictate the message and it sends directly without checking if it's correct or what I meant to say. In this case, I have it disabled. Lastly, we have the section for album covers, which determines whether we see the covers of songs we're listening to. I have it enabled because I think it looks quite nice. Generally, with Apple CarPlay, we can't do much more than what I've shown you. We can browse, use navigation, receive WhatsApp messages. You'll see that in the video I've prepared. We can listen to music via Amazon Music or any other music app and listen to the radio. Basically, we can do what you typically do in a car. Use the multimedia system to listen to music, navigate, or make phone calls. Lastly, one thing we can manage, but not directly on screen, is rearranging the app icons. I tried holding them down to move them, but that doesn't work. To do this, we need to use the iPhone. Go to Settings, then General, and finally to CarPlay. As you can see, we have the car connected via CarPlay. In Customize, we can move the apps around. As you can see, I've arranged them like this. I'll focus here now, okay? I have them like this, but if I want to move them, I can do so easily. See? I have the phone first, but I can rearrange them however I want. To do this, you need to use the iPhone Settings app. Another key point about CarPlay, especially wireless. You can't use iPhone's Wi-Fi. Once you connect to CarPlay, Wi-Fi is completely disabled. You can't use it at all. Also, always keep Bluetooth on for the connection to work properly. Well guys, that's all for this video. As always, I hope this has been helpful and useful to you. If so, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe and hit the bell for updates. That's all from me. As always, it's been a pleasure. See you in the next video.